Luke chapter 9. Jesus sends out the 12 disciples. Jesus called the 12 together. He gave them power and authority to drive out all demons and to heal sicknesses. Then he sent them out to preach about God's kingdom and to heal those who are sick. He told them, "Don't take anything for the journey. Do not take a walking stick or a bag. Do not take any bread or money or extra clothes. When you are invited into a house, stay there until you leave town. Some people may not welcome you if they don't shake the dust off your feet when you leave their town. This will be a witness against the people living there." So the 12 left. They went from village to village. They preached the good news and healed people. Now Herod, the ruler of Galilee, heard about everything that was going on. He was bewildered, because some were saying that John the Baptist had been raised from the dead. Others were saying that Elijah had appeared. Still others were saying that a prophet of long ago had come back to life. But Herod said, "I had John's head cut off. Though who is that I hear such things about?" And he tried to see Jesus. Jesus feeds just 5,000. The apostles returned. They told Jesus what they had done. Then he took them with him. They went off by themselves to a town called Bethsaida. The crowds learned about it and followed Jesus. He welcomed them and spoke to them about God's kingdom. He also healed those who needed to be healed. Late in the afternoon, the 12 came to him. They said, "Send the crowd away. They can go to nearby villages and countryside. There they can find food and a place to stay. There is nothing here." Jesus replied, "You give them something to eat." The disciples answered, "We have only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. We would have to go and buy food for all this crowd." About 5,000 men were there. But Jesus said to his disciples, "Have them sit down in groups of about 50 each." The disciples did so, and everyone sat down. Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. He looked up to heaven and gave thanks. He broke them into pieces. Then he gave them to the disciples to set in front of the people. All of them ate and were satisfied. The disciples picked up 12 baskets of leftover pieces. Peter says that Jesus is the Christ. One day, Jesus was praying alone. Only his disciples were with him. He asked them, "Who do the crowd say I am?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist. Some others say Elijah. Still others say that one of the prophets of long ago has come back to life." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Peter answered, "The Christ of God." Jesus strongly warned them not to tell this to anyone. He said, "The Son of Man must suffer many things. The elders will not accept him. The chief priests and the teachers of the law will not accept him either. He must be killed and on the 3rd day rise from the dead." Then he said to them all, "If anyone wants to follow me, he must say no to himself. He must pick up his cross every day and follow me. If he wants to save his life, he will lose it. But if he loses his life for me, he will save it. What good is it if someone gains the whole world but loses or gives up his very self? Suppose you are ashamed of me and my words. The Son of Man will come in his glory and in the glory of the Father and the holy angels. Then he will be ashamed of you. What I am about to tell you is true. Some who are standing here will not die before they see God's kingdom." Jesus' appearance is changed. About 8 days after Jesus said this, he went up on a mountain to pray. He took Peter, John, and James with him. As he was praying, the appearance of his face changed. His clothes became as bright as a flash of lightning. 2 men, Moses and Elijah, appeared in shining glory. Jesus and 2 of them talked together. They spoke about his coming death. He was going to die soon in Jerusalem. Peter and his companions had been very sleepy, but then they became completely awake. They saw Jesus' glory and the 2 men standing with him. As the men were leaving Jesus, Peter spoke up. "Master," he said to him, "it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters. One will be for you, one for Moses, and for Elijah." They didn't really know what he was saying. While Jesus was speaking, a cloud appeared, surrounded them. The disciples were afraid as they entered the cloud. A voice came from the cloud. It says, "This is my son, and I have chosen him. Listen to him." When the voice had spoken, they found that Jesus was alone. The disciples kept quiet about this. They didn't tell anyone at the time what they had seen. Jesus healed a boy who had an evil spirit. The next day, Jesus and those who were with him came down from the mountain. A large crowd met Jesus. A man in the crowd called out, "Teacher," he said, "I beg you to look at my son. He is my only child. A spirit takes hold of him, and he suddenly screams. It throws him into fits so that he foams at the mouth. It's hardly ever to leave him. It is destroying him. I begged your disciples to drive it out, but they can't do it." "You unbelieving and evil people," Jesus replied, "how long do I have to stay with you? How long do I have to put up with you?" Then he said to the man, "Bring your son here." Even while the boy was coming, the man threw him into a fit. The boy fell to the ground, but Jesus ordered the evil spirit to leave the boy. Then Jesus healed him and gave back to his father. They were all amazed at God's greatness. Everyone was wondering about all that Jesus did. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. The Son of Man is going to be handed over to men." But they didn't understand what this meant. That was because it was hidden from them, and they were afraid to ask Jesus about it. Who is the most important person? The disciples began to argue about which one of them would be the most important person. Jesus knew that they were thinking. So he took a little child and had the child stand beside him. Then he spoke to them. "Anyone who welcomes this little child in my name welcomes me. And anyone who welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. The least important person among all of you is the most important." "Master," said John, "we saw a man driving out demons in your name. We tried to stop him because he is not one of us." "Do not stop him," Jesus said. "Anyone who is not against you is for you." The Samaritans do not welcome Jesus. The time grew near for Jesus to be taken up to heaven. They made up his mind to go to Jerusalem. He sent messengers on ahead. They went into a Samaritan village to get things ready for him. But the people there did not welcome Jesus. That was because he was heading for Jerusalem. The disciples, James and John, saw this. They asked, "Lord, do you want us to call down fire from heaven to destroy them?" But Jesus turned and commanded them not to do it. They went on to another village. It cost to follow Jesus. Once Jesus and those who were with him were walking along the road. A man said to Jesus, "I will follow you no matter where you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." He said to another man, "Follow me." But the man replied, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." Jesus said to him, "Let dead people bury their own dead. You go and tell others about God's kingdom." Still another man said, "I will follow you, Lord, but first let me go back and say goodbye to my family." Jesus replied, "Suppose you start to plow and then look back. If you do, you are not fit for service in God's kingdom." Luke chapter 10. Jesus sends out the 72. After this, the Lord appointed 72 others. He sent them out 2 by 2 ahead of him. They went to every town and place where he was about to go. He told them, "The harvest is huge, but the workers are few. So ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest field. Go, I am sending you out like lambs among wolves. Do not take a purse for bags or sandals, and don't greet anyone on the road. When you enter a house, first say, 'May this house be blessed with peace.' If someone just loves peace, your blessing of peace will rest on him. If not, it will return to you. Stay in that house. Eat and drink anything they give you. Workers are worthy of their pay. Do not move around from house to house. When you enter a town and are welcomed, eat what is set down in front of you. Heal the sick people who are there. Tell them, God's kingdom is near you. But what if you enter a town and are not welcome? And go into its streets and say, 'We will wipe off even the dust of your town that sticks to our feet.' We do it to show that God isn't pleased with you. But here's what you can be sure of. God's kingdom is near. I tell you this, on Judgment Day it'll be easier for Sodom than for that town. How terrible it'll be for you, Chorazin. How terrible for you, Bethsaida. Suppose the miracles done if you had been done in Tyre and Sidon. They would have turned away from their sins long ago. They would have put on black clothes. They would have sat down in ashes. On Judgment Day it'll be easier for Tyre and Sidon than for you. And what about you, Capernaum? Will you be lifted up to heaven? No, you will go down to the place of the dead. Anyone who listens to you listens to me. Anyone who does not accept you does not accept me. And anyone who does not accept me does not accept the one who sent me." The 72 returned with joy. They said, "Lord, even the demons obey us when we speak in your name." Jesus replied, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. I have given you authority to walk all over snakes and scorpions. You will be able to destroy all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. But do not be glad when the evil spirit obey you. Instead, be glad that your names are written in heaven." At that time, Jesus was full of joy through the Holy Spirit. He said, "I praise you, Father. You are Lord of heaven and earth. You have hidden these things from the wise and educated, but you have shown them to little children. Yes, Father, this is what you want." My Father is the only one who knows who the Son is, and the only one who knows the Father are the Son and those to whom the Son chooses to make the Father known. Then Jesus turned to his disciples. He said to them in private, "Blessed are the eyes that see what you see. I tell you, many prophets and kings wanted to see what you see, but they didn't see it. They wanted to hear what you hear, but they didn't hear it." The story of the Good Samaritan. One day, an authority on the law stood up to put Jesus to the test. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to receive eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" Jesus replied, "How do you understand it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love him with all your strength and with all your mind." Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. "And love your neighbor as you love yourself." Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. Do that and you will live." But the man wanted to make himself look good, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho. Robbers attacked him. They stripped off his clothes and beat him. Then they went away, leaving him almost dead. A priest appeared to be going down the same road. When he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. A Levite also came by. When he saw the man, he passed by on the other side too. But a Samaritan came to the place where the man was. When he saw the man, he felt sorry for him. He went to him, poured olive oil, wine on his wounds, and bandaged him. Then he put the man on his own donkey. He took him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 silver coins. He gave them to the owner of the inn. "Take care of him," he said. "When I return, I will pay you back for any extra expense you may have." Which of the 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by robbers? The steward of the law replied, "The one who felt sorry for him." He replied, "Go and do as he did." Jesus at the home of Martha and Mary. Jesus and his disciples went on their way. Jesus came to a village where a woman named Martha lived. She welcomed him into her house. She had a sister named Mary. Mary sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was busy with all the things that had to be done. She came to Jesus and said, "Lord, my sister has left me to do the work by myself. Don't you care? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her."